Hello, Jamie Dreyer here. Today we're going to be doing a movement audit on my baby brother Daniel's deadlift. Now, Daniel's been deadlifting for several years. I know he's pulled over 450 before. His technique is quite good, but there are definitely some things that we can clean up here. In the first clip that I'm going to show you, what I want you to do is notice how the bar stays away from his thighs a bit. It's about a half an inch to an inch. Let me go ahead and roll the clip. You can take a look, and I'll be right back in a few seconds. So you see what I mean? His technique looks pretty good, but the bar was definitely traveling off his thighs a little bit there. So for the next piece, I cued him to start engaging his lats and pull the bar into his thighs. That's going to keep everything much closer to the center of gravity, and it's going to look a lot cleaner. Now, the next thing that I want you to watch in this clip is his knees. And particularly, look at how much his knees are bending as he comes down and comes off the ground. Alternate. There you can see that he's now pulling the bar into his thighs and closer to his center of gravity. The next thing that I want him to start doing is to start getting his butt, which is where a lot of his weight is, closer to his center of gravity as well. So I wanted you to look at the knees. The knees weren't really bending much. It's not always going to be a problem, but for the way his body lines up, if he were to bend his knees and get them a little bit more over the bar, he would be more centered with his body weight in line with the center of where the bar is. So he'd be able to get more of his weight evenly distributed on his feet. I feel that he was a little bit too much into his forefoot when he was doing his deadlift because his hips were so far back. He needed to really support himself with his toes and the ball of his foot. So that's another reason why there was so much stress on his lower back, because he was leaning way over. As soon as he gets to his knees more forward and drops his butt a little bit, you're going to notice his biomechanics is going to change. He's going to be able to just drive through that bar a little bit better and get it up off the ground without feeling so much in his lower back. So we're going to see that in the next clip. The other thing that you couldn't really see on this video, because I didn't film it, but what I did see when I was there with him at the gym, is on one or two of his reps, he would go ahead, right before he lifted, bend his elbows and kind of try and get some momentum to pull the bar up. And I see that quite a bit at the gym. The reason why that's a problem is because you're starting to get this momentum going, and all of a sudden the dead weight of the bar just it actually kind of jerks your body, and you actually lose some of your strength there. So what I cued him to start doing is to actually start preloading the bar, as if he's trying to lift about 25% of the weight of the bar already, take it into his hands and through his body before he actually starts the movement. Let's see what that looks like. Daniel's deadlift's starting to look pretty good there, right? Can you see the differences? He's got that bar into his body nice and tight. His starting position, he's a little bit more over the bar. He's got a lot of tension preloading through his body. Looks fantastic. Now, there's two things that I want him to do moving forward that I think will help him out. The first one is I want him to start packing his neck. So instead of looking up at the mirror in front of him when he comes down and then straightening out as he gets to the top when he's more upright, I want him to keep this neck pack position the whole way through. The next thing is ditch the running shoes. There's a few different reasons why ditching the running shoes will help his deadlift, but the main important one is that the heel is really squishy and soft, and your body knows when you're on a less stable surface, and it'll actually start to take some of his neural drive down, so it won't allow him to be as strong as he could be, because it knows that this is unstable, it's not completely safe, let me back things off a little bit. So he'll actually be able to pull more weight if he just gets rid of the shoes and is on a really firm surface. Now he could go barefoot, or he could get some type of a neutral sole lifting shoe that's really firm. Doesn't really matter. I personally like to go either barefoot in my Vibrams. It's just really easy and it feels good for me. Well, there you have it. That was my first movement audit. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I'm glad you got to see it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe to my channel, like my Facebook page, whatever you do, just press something and send me a little bit of love. If there's a particular pattern you've got questions for, go ahead and leave it in the comments box, and I'll make a point to try and get it up there soon for you. I'm Jamie Dreyer. See you next time.